Over the past few days, Labour has unleashed a barrage of hard-hitting posts that have left many of us wondering, are they stooping to the Tories' level of misinformation? But here's the thing. The information they're sharing is factually correct. They're simply highlighting the alarming implication that our Prime Minister supports letting gunmen and child abusers roam free. Today, the Shadow Attorney General made a crucial point.
Thornberry, do you stand by the ads as well, Miss Thornberry? Good morning, happy Easter.
Good morning, happy Easter, Kay. Of course we do. Of course we do. Why would we not? Listen, the criminal justice system in this country has completely collapsed, and it's happened over the 13 years that the Conservatives have been in power. And Rishi Sunak is in charge of the government and should do something about it, and isn't.
While the country is in dire straits, Rishi Sunak is fixated on culture wars and blocking boats. Instead of tackling the backlog of asylum claims, he's throwing more money at frivolous schemes that just won't make a difference. Kay Burley tried to defend the government's stance by citing the pandemic, but even she couldn't ignore that Thornberry's powerful rebuttal.
We've heard from barristers saying that people are less likely to be sent to prison because of the amount of time that it takes between the original offence and someone coming before the courts. I mean, if you are an alleged rapist, you have a 2% chance of actually being charged if someone complains about you, a 2% chance of coming to court, and then it's a 3-year wait for the case to come to court. I mean, this simply isn't right. And as Keir says in his article today, what does that say to the brave women who come forward to make these complaints? It says that we're not taking this matter seriously. I mean, I can tell you Labour is, but this government is not taking this matter seriously and doesn't really care. If they cared, they would do something about it.
One of the reasons for the backlog, as we know, of course, is because of the pandemic and the problems of getting people into court during that two and a half year period.
Yeah, no, that's certainly one of the reasons, but it isn't the only reason. And the backlog was already really bad before. And they had closed courts in order to save money, and they weren't recruiting judges in order to save money. And they didn't have enough prosecutors, and they weren't paying people to do criminal defence work, and so people were moving on to do other things instead. There was a lack of barristers, there was a lack of courts, there was a lack of judges. They had privatised the probation service, then they had deprivatised it, they had messed it around, and it's now on its knees. I mean, these are things that have happened under their watch.
The truth is, if the Conservatives want to boast about reducing crime during their 13-year rule, they must also be accountable for their failures, regardless who's leading at the time. They can't just cherry-pick out the successes and blame others for the setbacks. It's just not good enough.
But is it necessary to lower the party's esteem to the extent or view from the public to the extent where you're suggesting that the Prime Minister is supporting sex offenders? I mean, what is that going to say when it comes to the next election and the campaigns there? I mean, I thought it was the Conservatives who were known as the nasty party.
So 2 weeks ago, okay, you'll remember the Prime Minister got up at Prime Minister's Questions and bragged about the criminal justice system. Bragged about having cut crime, which is highly questionable. But in any event, he was bragging about that, and he was taking the record since 2010 and saying, look at us, aren't we great? Look at me, aren't I great? Well, actually, if you want to be accountable, then let's make you accountable. Let's make you properly accountable.
And if you think the Tories have the moral high ground, then think again. They were quick to concoct false information, and their source data to support their claims is questionable. But now we're seeing a wave of alternative versions that highlight what people really think. To truly understand the impact of the budget, you'll need to watch this brutally honest takedown video that's on screen now. Don't forget to hit that like button or the join button for membership. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.